Hey Cancer, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works and leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength during this reading, go check your other major placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I might have caught your wavelength or storyline over there, maybe. And then I'm going to start off with this monster deck of Moonology and Work Your Light Oracle. And I'm doing it this way because I feel like it. So 1, 2, 3. All right, Cancer. Woohoo. All right, so expect powerful change. New moon eclipse, so a very powerful new change. Your commitment is being tested. Stay strong and focused. So storm clouds coming in might cloud your vision a little bit. Some things, storm clouds, just anything might be coming in that might cloud your vision, and what you really want might get a little fuzzy. You might get distracted a little bit. You might be being distracted right now. But there is going to come a change that's going to, I think, help you with that. But right now your commitment to something is really being tested. Are you really going to put the work in? Do you really believe in this? Do you really want this? Powerful change is coming, but right now it's your job to stay committed, to stay strong, to stay focused on your goals. It's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. So I feel like what we're talking about here is stay focused. You may be feeling like this is never going to work out. I never get anywhere. Nothing's going to be going my way. And you need to release all of that. It's time to let go of negative thinking, let go of defensiveness, let go of anger and frustration, let go of any negativity. So much easier said than done, but letting go of that beliefs that this isn't going to work out, working on your beliefs, because your commitment's being tested. So you may be feeling like this isn't going to work out. Nothing ever goes my way. And so you may be feeling like you want to give up on something. This is saying don't give up on the thing that you want. Give up on your thinking about the thing that you want. Give up on the way you're framing it in your mind, on the likelihood that it's going to happen or not happen, anything like that. Give up on that stuff, but don't give up on your goal. And then you'll experience some really powerful changes in this area. So Cancer, then we're going to go with this Botanical Inspirations here deck. What do we got? Venice Mallow, delicate fleeting beauty. When life is not coming up roses, which it looks like it might not be right now, look to the weeds and find the hidden beauty within them. So not just focusing on what you don't have, but focusing on what you do have. So that's the releasing negativity part that can add to that, is focusing on what you do have. Okay, this doesn't look good, it doesn't look great, but maybe looking for the beauty within that. Not going to a negative space about that, but all right, this didn't come up, the roses didn't come up, but what about these weeds? And Venice Mallow is a fun little weed. It's edible, the little, I don't know, I've never seen it called Venice Mallow, but the little mallow weed we have around here is edible and has little sort of seed pods that look like cheese wheels and very fun to eat. So it may not look good right now, but enjoy what you do have. Changes are coming. Changes are coming. Expect them. Oh, the expectation part. Yes, expect powerful change. Expect it. It's not just that it's coming, it's that you need to change your energy from being in a negative space, like this is never going to work out, to expecting it to work out and expecting powerful changes and expecting your goals and what you're committed to come true. Because it's being tested right now, and I think it's being tested from an internal place, from your own view, from your own negativity. It's also being tested in, like, it's not coming out the way you wanted it to. It's not, something in reality isn't going quite the way you want it to, but you're being asked to work with what you can. There's a really good book called Being Stuck. It's by Thich Nhat Hanh. Anyway, it's about when things aren't going your way, and how when those external gears kind of grind to a stop, that's when our internal growth can really start, because then the internal gears are the only things that can move. So those start moving and those start shifting. So you're shifting your outlook, you're expecting powerful change, you're expecting things, your commitment to something is being tested, and I feel like the test is coming from within, from your own negativity, your own expectations. All right. I mean, it's also, there's something external that's triggering the internal challenges. All right, Cancer. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Okay, some cards I've seen a lot already this week, and some cards I haven't seen in since I started this deck. So this Five of Cups we've seen before. Several other signs have this. Five of Cups, grief. I think it was Aries, about what's been lost. So you've already been through the grief process. You've already looked at what's been lost. The Five of Cups is quite a focus, though, on the negatives of a situation that you are supposed to be releasing, on what's been lost. We haven't yet transitioned from our grief process into embracing our new life, into embracing the new thing. So in your recent past, you did go through a grief process. You were very negative, looking at the things you don't have, looking at everything that hasn't worked out, looking at, oh my gosh, I'm going to sneeze. Luckily, we're not in a room together, so I can sneeze all I want and it won't affect you. Could be a little gross, but it won't. You won't get sick. So Five of Cups, looking at what's been lost, looking at what you don't have, being focused on that, in some ways possibly even being inconsolable. It definitely got a focus on the past and what's been lost and what's no longer. It's crying over spilled milk. I think crying is fine. I think crying over spilled milk is fine. I think crying over spilled wine is fine. There is a flow, and there's also a flow to our emotions. So the Five of Cups usually talks, though, about someone who's a little bit stuck in the grief process, right? This other guy's trying to console him, and he's like, no, thank you. I don't really want to look at the 3 cups, full cups I do have. I want to look at the 3 cups I don't have. So there could have been some sort of commitment to negative thinking, a sense of feeling stuck, maybe emotionally, and some sort of negative outlook. In your current situation, you have the Hanged Man, I think. Somebody else just got this, maybe it was Taurus. The Hanged Man. So this is hanging out. This is things are going slow motion. I feel like this can have a lot to do with global situations, but the situation is not moving externally. The situation that, oh my gosh, we're talking about those internal gears. The situation externally is not moving. Your commitment's being tested. And there's something external that's going on that isn't allowing for forward motion. But the Hanged Man is all about the internal gears moving. So those external gears ground to a halt. You're not moving, you're stuck, you're trapped somewhere. But this is good because all the blood's going to your head, and it's those gears in the head that need to get moving and need to get shifting and changing and growing and figuring out what's going on, how to get out of the situation, and shifting all the inner gears. So the Hanged Man is about the outer gears are shut down, they're locked, just like I was talking about before I got that card. And so it's time for the inner gears to start working. Your mind, your heart, your positivity, your outlook, your thinking, because your commitments, you're not going anywhere right now. Your goal is not achievable right now. You're not doing it right now. And the powerful change will be within. And you need to be expecting that and working towards that and understanding that that is the nature of things. We're all changing. We're the same, and yet there are powerful shifts going on within us. So you're in a spot where you must engage with the internal gears. The external gears are stopped, they're blocked. So as you're hanging here upside down, you're releasing negativity, you're thinking about how you're thinking about things, you're figuring out that you do need to work on some of your internal dialogue and your internal issues here. Keeping the goal in mind to get unstuck here, but the work right now has gone internal. There's nothing that can go on externally here. In your inner landscape, you have the strength card. This is taking all of your strength. Your commitment is definitely being tested here. And it's taking all of your strength to continue to believe in this. It almost feels like an infinite amount of strength, right? An infinite amount of strength. But look at this strong horse. He's ready to go, eager to go, holding back. This lion would like to eat everything, holding back. She's holding it back. You're holding it back. You are having to be strong, having to be patient. You might want to say things, you might want to communicate things, but you can't right now. So you're having to use all of this inner strength. This inner strength is beautiful in this hanged man issue, because that's what it's for, that inner strength to look at yourself, look at your situation, look at how to get out of it. And patience, patience, patience. We have this hanged man, patience. In this time of not being able to move externally, you need to keep your goal in mind and just work internally with patience, and making sure you're staying positive and you're staying hopefully expectant for the future, even though things aren't working in your favor right now. So that's what that inner strength is doing in your inner landscape. So I just went through this whole deck and put everything upright. And so I'm very confused right now about how these cards ended up the way they did. But this is very funny because it came out in the upright. Issue 7 of coins. It's supposed to come out in the reverse, but it came out in the upright. Patience, 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 patience. You've put in a lot of work into something. Your heart's ready to move forward, but you're stuck here. You're stuck here waiting, guarding your fruits, the fruits of your labors. When is it going to happen? When do I get my reward? You are definitely, your commitment is being tested. You aren't moving forward because you are expecting powerful change. This fruit is going to ripen. You know how I know? Because we have 3 cards here about patience. The hanged man being patient with external circumstances. It's here for a reason, so you can figure out your internal circumstances. Having the inner strength, inner patience to withstand how something is moving or unfolding without trying to get in there and fuss with it and get it. And then you have the 7 of coins here, waiting patiently for something to happen, something to come to fruition, which is just not your hard work. It does not appear to be paying off. You are just standing here. But how do I know it's paying off? Because, well, first we have this, your commitment's being tested. And why are you hanging around? Why are you waiting around? In all of these cards, you're waiting, waiting, waiting. So you know you are expecting powerful change. You know something's going to happen. That's why you're still here waiting. Otherwise you would have cut and run and moved on. Holy crap. Taurus has this too. And this is your environment, the 6 of Swords. There is like a cutting and moving on. There is like, this situation isn't working. So somebody's moving on. There is something in your environment that's asking you to, like, 6 of Swords comes to me as like moving on, but it could be something in your environment is asking you to move on from a way of viewing and communicating something to another way of viewing and communicating something. Because the swords, was I saying once, the swords are ideas, the swords are communication. And so normally I see this as literally moving away from a situation that's no longer working for you into a situation that is completely unknown, but you don't give a shit because you need to go someplace that's better. You need to go someplace that's whatever not this is. So that could be going on in your external landscape, that somebody is moving on, someone is moving away from something, a known thing that they know doesn't work for them, to a new thing that they don't even give a shit what it is, as long as it's not that anymore. So that's going on in your environment. You could be moving, someone you know could be moving, you could be changing jobs, you could be just leaving a job without any new prospects, anything out in the front, in the future here. But it's okay because you have to leave this space. But it could also be, because swords are thoughts and communication, leaving a place. your environment is asking you, telling you with this hanged man energy, this stuck energy, this waiting energy, this trapped energy, is that you have to change your thinking, because swords are thoughts and communication. So we could look at it more broadly instead of more specifically and say that it's time to move away from a way of thinking that, I mean, usually this is external, but there could be something external in your environment that's triggering you to change the way you think, to change the way you see a situation, to change what you think about a situation, the way you understand a situation. And it is like the heart chakra is at the 6 here. It's a balanced energy in a way, because we're moving away and moving towards, we're coming into balance. It is the heart chakra. It is about wounds to the heart. So there could be something in your environment that's been wounding to your heart, and all you know right now is just not that. I just don't want that anymore. It's someplace you've been, it's someplace you've lived, it's someplace you maybe have lived your whole life as a way of thinking, as a way of doing business, as a way of living, as a way of life, and you've had enough. So it could be physical, but also just the way this reading is, with so much internal, so much mental. I'm also seeing that this is a mentally moving on from that land, that space, those ideas, moving forward. And then what your to-do list is this Queen of Wands in reverse. She came out in reverse. So right before I did this reading, I'd gotten a few reverses here. And right before I did this reading, I went through my entire deck and made sure it was all straightened out. And then this came out in reverse. So I'm not going to be able to discount this at all. This came out in reverse. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands in the upright would be somebody that's intuitive and... So what, your to-do list here? If she were upright, your to-do list would be get in touch with your own intuition. Get in touch with what you want, with what inspires you, with what thrills you, what excites you. Getting in touch, that's what this hanged man space is for. But the Queen of Wands in reverse. She could be... I mean, this could be like getting out of your feelings, getting out of your intuition. So we could be talking about not relying on your intuition right now, that's not the space where you need to be in. We could be talking about, I mean, because everything else here has an internal focus, and the Queen of Wands, queens are going to be very internally focused. And very internally focused on their own intuition is this one, and feeling very inspired and feeling maybe understanding what her own intuition is saying. So your to-do list is something here. Maybe not listening to your intuition. That's like the weirdest statement I've ever seen here. Maybe not following somebody else's intuition. Rejecting somebody else's. Maybe this is some way that someone else wants you to see something or deal with something, or some way that you've inherited that and you followed that and you've done that. But here you are leaving that mentality, that space. Someone else's intuition has them being a certain way or feeling a certain way or thinking that they know something. And that's not your advice. So it could be not following somebody else's advice, but only getting in touch with yours and following your own. I mean, it's interesting because this week I just did a bunch of exploration of my South Node, North Node stuff. My North Node is in Scorpio. And it was 8th house Scorpio. And it was so fascinating because I have just gone through a period of making those exact decisions that North Node comes to. But it reminded me of how many different paths that we're all on, and how following somebody else's advice and doing something the way someone else tells you to do it, or what's worked for them, they're on a totally different path from you. They're not. Some people need to learn how to love others more. Some people need to learn how to love themselves more. If the people that need to learn how to love themselves themselves more, follow the advice from the people that need to learn how to learn how to love others more and give what they give themselves to others. If they follow that advice, they're going to be depleted doormats. But if the people that need to learn how to love others follow the advice of the people that need to learn how to love themselves are dishing out, they're going to be it's just like the advice that each individual needs. It's never a one size fits all situation. And each person has individual advice. So in some ways, I feel like this could be not following somebody else's intuition, and maybe even not following your intuition, because the wands can be very inspired and very creative. And you might have an inspiration, but your situation doesn't allow you to take it. So we're going to take this right underneath this Hanged Man, not following your own intuition, not following something, not acting on it. Your commitment to something is being tested, and maybe you don't feel like it right now. Maybe you don't feel like being committed to that thing or continuing on this path. But if you have a goal, not letting those feelings get in the way of that. Temporary feelings, like normally you need to be listening to your feelings, but this Queen in reverse is really... And underneath this Hanged Man, so you're hanging out here, and oh my gosh, she's hanging out too. I think you're hanging out in your intuition, in your goal. Your commitment's being tested, and just staying committed to your passion and your goal and what's passionate for you. Because I just am seeing this. She's the Hanged Man. This passion is on a time out, and it's time for you to get in touch with it, but maybe not act on it. We're not going anywhere here, right? So you're not going anywhere. You're not going to be able to act on it, but still keeping your vision in sight, but not moving on it, and not maybe even not even talking about it. Okay, and then where we're going is the Magician. This card's upright and in the right position, so I get it. The Magician here is manifestation, having everything you need to bring something to fruition. It's this the pure intention, going in a straight line from that original intention coming in to bringing it out into reality. So there will be coming a time. This is the powerful change. This is the powerful change. You're sitting out here hanging out with your intuition, with your feelings, having to be patient, having to bide your time, not liking where you're at, wanting to move on, but not being able to. And then this goes from here, you're in this releasing negativity and expectation, this place of expectation, and also of releasing what's not going to happen. And then something does. I mean, you get into this manifestation. This is a straight line from that crown, crown chakra, into the incarnation and the manifestation of something. It looks like there's like some sort of blockage here, and then once that is released, once your commitment's being tested, so this could just be a test of your internal, but you need your internal dialogue here, but you need to pass this test, and then there's some sort of magician vibe where you're going to be able to bring something to fruition that you've been waiting for. So you need to continue waiting. Don't get impatient. I mean, you're already impatient, but don't act on it. Dawn is coming. Ride with spirit unbroken. I have been with you, my wild one, throughout every challenge to your free spirit, encouraging you to rise, believing in you. When you were shamed, denied, judged, and ridiculed, I was there with you. I went through it all right along with you. I knew that the time would come when you would be ready to rise above those experiences, to let your wild heart be free. And now is that time. So beautiful. The time is either here or it's coming. Expect it. All right, Cancer, thank you so much for your likes and your comments and your subscribes, and I hope you have a wonderful week.